Hi everyone, we're going to graph the secant line of number 3. We're going to graph also number 3, f of x, and find the equation of the secant line from our x is -1 to 1. So basically the secant line is the average rate of change of this curve right here. And this is like your x1, this is your x2, and you just connect it, and that is your secant line, which is the average rate of change of that blue curve there. In our case, we're going from -1 to 1 on our x. There's your x 0.1 and 0.2. So we got to find our y values. So let's plug those in and see what we get. So we get f of -1. So plug those in. So you get 1 plus 7 plus 10. So that's going to be 18. And if you plug in 1, you're going to get f of 1, which is 1 minus 7 plus 10. So that's going to be 11 minus 7 is 4. All right, so again, when I have this number here, this one's going to be hard to graph. So we're just going to estimate it when we graph it. But our first thing is to find our slope, the secant line. So we're just going to use our slope formula and use 4 minus 18 divided by 1 minus a -1. So that's going to be -14 divided by 2. So our slope is -7. Now we need to find the equation of the secant line. So we're going to use y equals mx plus b, which is y equals -7x plus b. To find our b, let's just plug in this point. So we get 4 equals -7 plus b. So b equals 11. Yeah, this is going to be hard to graph. So this is y equals -7x plus 11. All right, so let's try to graph this as best as we can. We're going to really estimate on this one. So -1, 18, 1, and 4. Now my y-intercept is 10. That's why this is going to be hard. I'm going to go by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm going by twos. So that's going to be 0, 10. And 1. For my x-intercepts, I'm going to factor this. So we get x minus 5, x minus 2. So that means my x's are 5 and 2, my x-intercepts. 2 and 5, 3, 4, 5. So your vertex is going to be in between those two. And maybe this graph's going to be a little bit off. I'm going to go ahead and graph this. So my x's, I'm just going to go ahead and use the -1. And to go to 18, I'm going to go by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18. So there's going to be my -1, 18. And then for my 1, here I'm going to go 2, 4. So I can kind of sketch a graph of this. My vertex is in between here, and we don't really need that, so we're just going to estimate that. So we're going to connect through here, connect through this point, go down here, some vertex in this area, which we don't really care. And this is we're going over 2. So we'll go back up to here and over 1 to go to there. All right. Because it's symmetric. It's symmetric to this line right here. Well, to this line right here. All right. So basically, just made a mess. All right. Here we go. So I try to make it as symmetric as possible. But the idea is so you can see the equation of the secant line. And what we want to do is find the curve from -1 to 1. So here's your curve that we're looking at, right in there. Now, it's going to be hard to connect this as well. My secant line was what? -7x plus 11. So my y-intercept's 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So right in there. So let me see if I can draw the secant line. So you're kind of going to draw it right there. It's very close to the curve. All right? And then you can extend that secant line out if you want. But that's the general idea of how you would graph it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.